Shekhinah, Shekhinah, thank you for blessing this day. Shekhinah, thank you for blessing this day. Shekhinah, thank you for blessing all we do and all we say. Thank you for blessing this day. Shekhinah, thank you for blessing this day. Shekhinah, thank you for blessing this day. Shekhinah, thank you for blessing how we be and how we pray. Thank you for blessing this day. Shekhinah, 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 thank you for blessing.
Good evening, everyone. Let's see if I've done this right. Yes, we're back to live audio. Good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov. Thought I'd start us off again with a little music. I was actually going to try and start us off with the Kirtan Rabbi tonight, but that didn't work. So I went back to my standby of Holly Taya Sher from her beautiful album Wild Earth Shebrew. I have another song from the Kirtan Rabbi for a little bit later, so I'm hoping that works. If not, we'll go back to Holly again, because I have one of hers queued up that I know works. So good evening, everyone. It's just 7:30. Welcome to Shabbat services at oneshul.org, which is part of the PunkTorah family. My name is Ketzirah. I can't remember if I've already said that. I've typed it a couple times. And I'm very pleased to be here with you tonight to lead you through this service. We will be using a mixture tonight of a siddur, a prayer book that none of you have in your hands, and the PunkTorah siddur. I use the Kohenet siddur, which is part of the program I trained through, So what I ask you to do is sit back and engage with the experience. Couple of things to know about the way I lead prayer services is that I pray in the masculine and the feminine and also gender neutral language. Most of us agree that God is neither male nor female, and so it's important to me to pray in both masculine and feminine language to honor both aspects of deity and also to acknowledge the genderless actual nature of it, that it's how we perceive is where it comes from. If you are a drummer or a fan of drumming, grab your drum. I usually burst into song a couple of times during this, so there's opportunities to sing along and drum along if you like. And there'll be many times where I'll ask you to engage in the chat room. So if you haven't logged in, I encourage you and really invite you to do that. If you don't want to, that's okay too. If you or aren't able to. I know sometimes it's a little bit weird on the login. So I'm going to light my candles after our service tonight. I know all the prayer books say do it first, but we're going to do it afterwards. We're going to do our service and then head home to light our candles at home as individuals. So I'm hoping, I'm going to try this again. I wanted to lead us off tonight with a Lecha Dodi. And that was the Kirtan Rabbi's Lecha Dodi. And I'm not sure this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. If this wants to work this time. And I'm going to go with no, that didn't work. So we'll skip his Lecha Dodi for now. Lecha Dodi is one of the songs that I actually don't know that well. I don't sing that one very well. So let's just lead off then actually with Shalom Aleichem. And the traditional version is in your PunkTorah prayer book. I'm going to do my best actually to lead a version that was written again by my friend and teacher Holly Taya Sher. When she watches this later, she'll probably cry because I always just massacre her beautiful chants. But I love to welcome in Shabbat with welcoming in the angels that guide us home. That's what the song Shalom Aleichem is about. It's about welcoming in the ministering angels. And it said that an angel guide stands on either side of you and walks you home from synagogue at night. So I'm not sure how that works in the cyber world like this, but just to keep that in mind. So you do not have these words in front of you, and I apologize for that, but it's very, very similar really to the first couple of lines that are in your PunkTorah Siddur. So it is Shalom Aleichem, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei HaShalom Elyon. Peace to you, angels, angels of peace. Peace to you, angels, angels of peace. Come in peace, angels, angels of peace. Bless us with peace, angels. And when you go, angels, go in peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei HaShalom Elyon. Peace to you, angels, angels of peace. Peace to you, angels, angels of peace. Come in peace, angels. Bless us with peace, angels. And when you go, angels, go in peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malchei HaSharit, Malchei HaSharit Elyon. Peace be with you, earth. Peace be with you, moon. Peace be with you, clouds. Peace be with you, trees and plants. Peace be with you, stones. Peace be with you, living things. Peace be with you, human people. Peace be with you, waters of the sea. Peace be with you, Shekhinah. Peace be with you, Ancient One. Peace be with you, Exalted One. Peace be with you, world. Shalom Alecha Atika. Shalom Aleich Ila'ah. Shalom Alecha Alma'ah. Shalom Aleichem to you all, and welcome. So as we move into our service tonight and we look at our Lecha Dodi, which I was going to try and sing before but failed, let's move in our PunkTorah Siddur to page 28 in the middle of the page, and I will know that I can hear you all saying this with me. Let's try the transliterated Hebrew and then the English. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nikabala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nikabala. Come, my beloved, with chorus of praise. Welcome, bride Sabbath, queen of the days. So moving on into our service and the Shema and its blessing, and moving into the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu. What I think I'd like to do is I'm blending both Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh tonight, is do the Baruch Hu we use as the call to prayer as part of the Rosh Chodesh service we've been doing here at One Shul. And what that allows us to do is for everyone to call themselves into our space. So I'll sing to lead us through. And what I'll do is ask you to say the name that you like to be known as in sacred space. If you are just viewing tonight, I invite you just to say it aloud. And if you've joined us in the chat room, please say, type your name for us there. So it is a slightly different version of the Baruch Hu, but if you've joined us for Rosh Chodesh, this will seem familiar. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Ketzirah, holy name. I have called on the light of my soul. I I've come home. Baruch hu, dear one, Avraham, holy name, you have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch hu, dear one, Jared, holy name, you have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch hu, dear one, Shoshana, holy name, you have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch hu, dear ones, many names spoken aloud, you have called on the light of your souls. Welcome home. Baruch hu Adonai hamavarach, Baruch Adonai hamarach le'olam va'ed. Blessed is the one who is blessed. Blessed is the one who is to be blessed forever and ever. So now if we move to page 29 in your Siddur, we have Ma'ariv Aravim. There's a really lovely version of this I may play for you next month. I think I'm going to be leading Shabbat services actually monthly now, the first Friday of the month, of the secular month. It's by Rabbi Gila Rezel Raphael, and it's a really lovely version of Ma'ariv Aravim. But tonight I think we're going to use the, let's see, what do I feel like doing tonight? I will be nice and I will use the one in your PunkTorah Siddur, so you can follow along. I'll have, needless to say, a lovely one in my Kohenet Siddur too, but that's unfair since you don't have the words. So let's say this together. I lied. I'm going to use the Kohenet one because it's easy for you to follow. So your line at home, singing along with me, is very simple. Ma'ariva aravim. Ready? Ma'ariva aravim. See if I can do this right now. You who open up the gates of time, Ma'ariv Aravim. You who flow each moment sublime, Ma'ariv Aravim. You who cycle forth the seasons, Ma'ariv Aravim. You who give life to reason, Ma'ariv Aravim. You who roll the dark and spill the light, Ma'ariv Aravim. You shine the day and soft the night, Ma'ariv Aravim. Ma'ariv Aravim. Ma'ariv Aravim. Ma'ariv Aravim. Ma'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, infinite, holy guide for the world, for your word makes the evening into evening. In wisdom you open the gates of time, and in understanding you fold one moment into the next and change seasons, and order the stars in their watches in the sky, according to your design, creating day and night, rolling light away before darkness and darkness away before light. You cause the day to pass away and bring the night, dividing day from night. Your name is the infinite of hosts. Living and lasting divinity always walk before us. Blessed are you, infinite, who makes the evening into evening. So as we move into Ahavat Olam, this I will do from the One Shul PunkTorah Siddur on page 30. And join me in that. We'll say in the English together. With everlasting love you have loved the house of Israel, your people, a Torah and commandments, statutes and judgments. you have taught us. Therefore, O God, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your statutes. We will rejoice in the words of your Torah and in your commandments forever, for they are our life and length of our days, and we will meditate on them day and night. And may you never take away from us your love. Blessed are you, God, who loves your people Israel. Amen. So as we move into the Shema, I'm just going to check one thing before I do that. So the Shema is our call, our statement in Judaism. It is the really very simple prayer, the one that you can go to almost any place in the world, and you will know where you are and what you're doing, and you will recognize, and even within that, I've actually found amazing ways to innovate and open ourselves up to the many possibilities of what God is. And I think that's very interesting. I think it's part of what the God Project that PunkTorah is undertaking is all about. And so let's read together on page 30, the blessings before the Shema. I love this in the Siddur. It's beautiful. I am grateful for the rays of the sun. The good light you created reflects your splendor. In it we see the radiance of your throne. Your servants in holiness are eternally grateful for the lights that you have made to shine over us and bathe us in warm light and splendor. In our gratitude, let us remember what it is to live without light, and we join your servant David in praying that a new light will illumine Zion, your land, to benefit all of its people and all people everywhere. May we all soon share a portion of your radiance. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzeret HaMe'orot. May we join your servants on heaven and in earth, proclaiming, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melo Kol Haaretz Kevodo. Baruch Kavod Adonai Mimakomo. And it's a tradition for many to recite a kavanah, which we just did, an intention, before we say the Shema. And I want to add an additional one, which is the one that I say every day before I say the Shema. So I'll do it in Hebrew and then in English, and then we'll move into the Shema. And what I invite you to do is, if saying the Shema with Adonai is your practice, then I invite you to do that. If it is not, I invite you to say the Shema with whatever name of God resonates for you. 3-syllable words tend to work the best. If you look at actually the wording of the haiku of the Shema, it's actually a haiku. So it's interesting to stay within the syllabic pattern. But there are many, many names we use for God in Judaism. There's Adonai, there's Hashem, there's Havaya, there's Shekhinah. There's so many names that we use. So I really invite you to use the name that works for you. I'll do a very long Shema to give time for those names to be said. If you want to type them to share with everybody what your name is that you use, that would be amazing to be able to see what everybody's names are for God. So I'll begin with the kavanah, the intention that I put out before I say the Shema. L'shem Yechud Tzimtzimai U'Shechinatei, for the blessing of the one who is space and fills space and creates space. Shema So Shoshana shared with us that she uses the name Adonai. The name I usually use is Asher Ayeh Asher Ayeh, I said that backwards, which is I am becoming what I am becoming. It's the name that was revealed before Moses at Mount Sinai at the burning bush. So as we move into, and I do want to say the two words that I said in the intention, I said Simsamai, and Simsamai I was taught there is an ancient story about a queen Simsamai that when Jerusalem was sacked hid all of the cinnamon trees that were used as the sacred fire offerings. And I was taught that Simsamai is another name for God, and a name for God who contracts and conceals. It's related to the word Simsum, which is the word for the Big Bang, basically the creation, the contraction and expansion that caused creation in Kabbalistic mythology and mystery teachings. And so Queen Simsamai, I was taught, is a feminine face of God that we can acknowledge, especially as one who creates space. And then with that, I say Shekhinah, which I experience as the divine face of God that fills the space that we live in. Ooh, how do you spell Simsamai? Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try and type this for people if my computer will let me type. Simai. I think that's how you spell it. Wait, I'm going to check. I think I have this earlier in my prayer book, so hold on. Because that name appears a couple of times in the Kohenet prayer book. We are very, very fond of Simsamai as a name and as an idea. Simsamai, yes, at least according to what's in here. Actually, it is, in another spelling, at least is Sim... where'd it go? My. So that's another spelling I saw, which was T-Z-I-M, T-Z. That's probably wrong there. I can get you the actual Hebrew later if you'd like it. But that was a one that I was taught that I really love. And the name Simsamai is that idea of a creator of space through contraction and concealing, which is very much the experience of our world often. So this is, I think, usually where Patrick will jump to, or Michael will jump to, kind of their teaching on the Torah portion of the week. And this week, what we're going to use it is to talk about the month to come. We won't do the full service that we usually do for Rosh Chodesh, because I do want to make sure everybody gets off to dinner. I know I start these services a half an hour later than often are with one shul. So I appreciate people making it, especially later in the evening when we're all getting a little hungry. But I do want to start and go through that portion. So the month to come, we are entering the month of Sivan, and we are finishing up the time of the counting of the Omer. We're moving into Shavuot, the holiday of revelation at Sinai, where we all as Jews, as Israelites at the time, agreed to the covenant, where we all heard God in our own way and in our own words, where God's voice was revealed to us as a shofar blast, which I think is amazing. It explains why that sound resonates with us so strongly, that it was the sound of the shofar. And so the first thing in our Rosh Chodesh that we usually do is I usually prattle on for a few minutes teaching about the month, which I'm going to do in just a little bit. There's on PunkTorah.org you can find kind of the teaching of the month. For the past year, as many of you know, I've been exploring the Wheel of the Year, the Jewish Wheel of the Year, through the 12 tribes. So the tribe of the month is Zebulon. And what's very interesting, Zebulon is very tied in with the tribe from our previous month. They are intertwined. Zebulon is our tribe of exploration and of commerce. And really the key teaching that I found this month in exploring the tribe of Zebulon in this month is that whether we like it or not as Jews, each of us ends up obligated to study and learn Torah and Jewish practice no matter what we're doing, even though I'm betting every single one of us here tonight has to get up in the morning and go to work, me included, have to rush home to make it to services sometimes. It doesn't release us of our obligation, but our obligation is still different. There are people that we are able, through our work in the commercial world, we're able to support and able to have them be people who focus only on Torah study, to have them teach us. But it's up to us to bring them the teachings of the world and to see how it works in the world at large. It's very easy to follow 613 commandments and to have very strong feelings that they have to be practiced in exactly this way, when all you have to do is practice those commandments. But when you have to earn a living every day, when you have to get up and you have to raise a family and you have to go to work, you have to go to school, life comes in. And the meaning of those commandments that we're all trying to live up to in some way, they become different. And that to me is a lot of what the tribe of Zebulun is teaching us, is that it's not that you're off the hook if you have to do these things, but it's up to you to figure out what they mean and how they work, and to figure out how to incorporate being Jewish into your life every day. And my quick story on that as we move on is recently I was at a conference. I work in my job that I'm actually paid for is actually interactive marketing. And I was at a conference, happened to be in Disney World, woo,